Okay, welcome everybody. Very good evening to you, or afternoon, morning, whatever it is where you are in the world. In the UK here, it's about 25 minutes to 9 in the evening, and we're going to go through the 8 boards that you've played this evening. If you have any comments, as Sanya says, send them to the table. Any questions, send them to the table so that everybody can see what the question is. And I, or possibly Eric, who's with us this evening, will do our very best to answer them. We're going to continue the theme that we've been doing the last few weeks, interspace with Alan's squeeze answer. But this is another week when we're going to be looking more at things that we do with trumps. So you've had a couple of weeks of these already, and this is another one of these types of hands. And I was a little bit surprised that nobody got this first one right. But we're going to have a look at them all anyway. So very warm welcome to you all. Eric can unmute himself when he wants to. Yes, welcome, Eric. Thanks for joining us. And Eric stood in as a sub for the last 2 boards because somebody had to go. Okay. Very first hand is on your screen. We don't need it. It was not a competitive auction, so we'll just bid the contract, which was 4 hearts played by East. So we'll pass with the northbound, and then we'll bid 4 hearts by East. A bit surprised that nobody managed to make this one, but let's have a look. Should we manage to make it? 4 hearts by East. The lead is a spade. Now, if you're playing standard signals, I like it, I don't like it, I would expect North to play the 9 of spades to say, yes, I like it. It depends what sort of systems you're playing. I noticed a couple of people only played the 2. Maybe they played count instead. But it doesn't really matter. South is going to play 3 rounds of the suit anyway. North puts the queen on, and East ruffs. Now we have oh, it's probably me. I've probably got my sound on. Sanya, bear with me just a second. I'll see if I can stop the settings. It's probably me. Sound effects off. There we go. Right. Now, where are we? We've lost, as declarer, we've lost 2 tricks, and diamonds are pretty good, clubs are pretty good. So as long as we don't lose 2 heart tricks, everything's rosy. So if the hearts are 3-1, then we don't have a problem. We'll just give them a heart. So we play a heart, expecting to be able to claim after this trick. But that's a bit unfortunate because North shows out. So we know exactly now what hearts South has got. He's got the Queen 10-9, and we can't pick them up. If we play hearts as declarer, we're going to lose 2 heart tricks, and that will be 1 too many. Well, the diamonds are good, the clubs are good. How can we avoid losing those 2 hearts? And there's only one way around it, and that is to give him the lead with a heart when he's only got hearts left. But we've got too many trumps to do that. You know, we can't give him the lead when he's only got hearts left, when we have to take the lead the trick before. So we've got to reduce our trumps to the same length as South, and then let him have the lead. And if we time it right, he will have to lead away from the Queen. We let him make his 10 or his 9, but he'd then have to lead away from the Queen. So leaving the trumps alone now, because if we play another trump, they're definitely going to make 2 tricks. All right, so now we're going to play the diamonds. And the only way we can get rid of one of our trumps is to ruff a diamond. Yes, they're winners, but the winner is no good to us. We have 1 too many trumps. So here we go in the 3rd round of diamonds, and we ruff it. South has to follow suit. And now we're going to hope that South has 3 rounds of clubs. If he's only got 2 and another diamond, then he will ruff the second one and exit with his diamond, and we won't have helped us. But he does follow to the 3 rounds of clubs. Now we've reached this position, and now we lead the king of diamonds, and we are simply going to ruff it low. South wins his 9, but what can he do? He only has those 2 hearts left, and he has to play away from the Queen of Hearts, and we can now claim our 2 more tricks. Not that difficult, really, as long as you picture on what the problem is and what the possible solution is. And I was a little surprised that nobody managed to find that.
You hear me? I don't know.
Yeah, we can hear you, Eric. Go ahead. At least I can hear you, and I think
Good.
the others can hear you coming through my microphone anyway.
All right. There's a kind of point for the defence on this hand, the South, because when the Ace King of Spades hold, he knows he's got 2 tricks unless there's a trump coup of some sort. He's likely to have. So he probably shouldn't be playing a 3rd spade and allowing East to ruff. So that might just be making it easier for him to form the trump coup.
Yeah, I think as it happens, I don't think any switch.
You can't stop it because but if you say switch to a club and he mistakenly wins the queen
with the queen, now he can't make it.
Then he's out of things. So he can't do anything. But it's the spade is probably a mistake in the sense that it makes it easier for East to shorten his trumps.
That's a good point, Eric. Thank you. And yes, Terry, that's the key. You've got to appreciate that you need to end play South to lead the heart, because that's the only way you can avoid losing 2 of them. And to do that, you've got to get down to the same length as him. Otherwise, you'll have the lead and you'll have to play the hearts, because you'll have only hearts left, and so will he, and you'll have to play them. So you've got to reduce your trumps down to South length. You've already ruffed 1 spade, so you ruff a diamond, even though it's a winner. The fact that it's a winner is immaterial. We're trying to get rid of the trump, and then play the club so that you finish in dummy, lead the diamond, ruff yourself. South over ruffs. Does this happen somewhere before you know the split? Well, generally not, because if you cash, you knew the split here because you cashed the ace and North showed out. If North had followed, we'd just have cashed the second top heart and given them a heart, because we don't need to reduce our trumps anymore. Well, if you get a double contract to make you aware or possibly aware of a bad trump break, that can affect how you play it, and we'll see that a bit later on in the proceedings too. Yeah. Do we have any other questions or comments?
I mean, in answer to that question, sometimes it's right to ruff something early, but you don't want to ruff too many early, because you will go down in a lot of
you can lose control
making contracts when someone just over ruffs and you could have drawn their trumps.
Yeah.
So you can often sort of afford to ruff once, maybe, as a precaution in advance. If you're planning ahead and there might be a bad trump split, but you can't ruff too many. Because they'll just end up over roughing you.
We will move on to board 2 with a bit of luck. Board 2. I'm not sure if we saved board. Did we claim board 1? I'm not sure if we did. We did. Okay, thank you, Sonia. Right. Okay. Here's board 2, and again, a non-competitive auction, quite a long one, but it doesn't really matter. This is going to be 4 hearts by East. So East is the dealer. We'll just bid 4 hearts. Hang on a minute, I've got this wrong. No, that I'm still looking at the one. Let's go back. Right, undo. Pass. Got the wrong piece of paper in front of me. There we go. Right. This is going to be 4 spades by North. That's what we want. Okay. Get rid of all these yellow bits. Yeah, thank you, Sonia. Sorry. I still left the board one on my pad rather than lifting it up. Okay, the lead we got was the 3 of clubs. Well, the opposition will take the first club. Think about it when we can actually do something about it. They play a 3rd club. Okay. Now, we're in and we'll play a spade to the king. Why not? Spades are breaking. Right. And what's he going to do now? Well, play a diamond. Now, where are we going to take this diamond? What do we know about the hand? We don't know whether the spades are breaking or not. But the only danger is if they aren't breaking. If they're breaking, the rest of our spades are good, the diamonds are good, and the king of hearts is good. But so let's think about what if they're not breaking. If East has still got 3 to the 10, then there's nothing we can do about it. We're going to go 1 off. So we should concentrate our efforts and our thinking as to West possibly having 3 to the 10. And if that's the case, we're going to need to reduce our trumps to get down to the same sort of length as West again. And well, so what we need to do, we need to take this ace of diamonds, because we're going to need the entries in dummy. Now we can catch the queen of spades. If they both follow, then it's going to be easy, but they don't. All right, so we know that West has got the 10-8 of spades, and we can't lead spades through him. So somehow we've got to finish in dummy with winners and having reduced our trumps. And then we can lead through West. Doesn't matter whether they're winners or not by the time we've only got 2 spades left. And for that reason, we've got to rough hearts, because we can't rough diamonds. And a heart discard is no good to us. We're throwing a diamond away that wasn't a loser anyway. So we're going to play the king of hearts. We're going to put the ace on. And we're going to rough a heart. That's got rid of one of our trumps. Now we're going back to dummy with the diamond, which is why we used the ace of diamonds earlier, because we need these entries. And we're going to rough another heart. It won't help West to rough this one. We're simply over rough and catch the diamond. Oh, the trump, he throws a diamond and we rough. Now we get to dummy with the diamond, and we've reached the position that we were aiming for. The lead is in dummy, and whatever West plays on the next trick, we will simply cover. If he plays the 8, we'll put the 9 on, and if he plays the 10, then we will put the jack on. So we're going to claim 2 more tricks. And here was an occasion when we could afford to cash the second spade to find out if they were breaking or not. If they were breaking, then we didn't have a problem. But when they didn't break, now we've got to realise we have to reduce our trumps and still be able to get back to dummy. And we had to see the possibility of that when West played the diamond back, because if we win that in dummy, we won't have sufficient entries to do what we've just done. Go ahead, Makiko. What's your question? Well, we're not going to eliminate all the cards, but the essence of the strategy is to reduce our trumps to the same length as West and then lead through him when he's only got 2 cards left. And for that, we needed entries to ruff the hearts and an entry to get back to lead the last card at trick 12. So we needed the ace of hearts to be able to, we needed to overtake the king of hearts with the ace, and we needed 2 diamond entries, one to get back to dummy to ruff another heart, and then one to get back to dummy to lead through West at trick 12. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 2? Yeah, I know this is one of the problems, Jock. I was talking to Eric about this earlier on. Because these hands are, we know, based on things you do with trumps, some of the players are assuming that the trumps are going to break very badly and acting on that assumption. And of course, you shouldn't be doing that at the table. You should not, you should be assuming that they won't break badly, because they won't most of the time. Yeah. So you should be treating these as if they're just ordinary hands and then see what happens. Yeah, okay, good. Followed the lesson plan. Yeah, well done to him. Or her. Is Gert a he or a him? Him or a her? I don't know. Gert. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments? Anything from you, Eric?
No, nothing.
Okay, we'll move on to board 3, and I won't forget to turn over my piece of paper this time. And let's find board 3. And send it to the table. Again, no opposition bidding. Starts off with a preempt from South. There is one interesting thing about the bidding that that we can possibly talk about. So 3 clubs was the opener. Pass from East-West. North bids 4 diamonds, which I assume is some sort of control, saying I'm interested in a slam. South bids 4 spades, which is a control. North bids 4 no trumps. And South bids 5 no trumps, which says I got the 1 control and I got a useful void, and North can work that out. That's probably going to be in spades. And 6 clubs then. Have a go at 6 clubs. And we get the lead of the 4 of spades. Now, I was watching Jock and Pat play this hand, and Pat originally played the ace of spades and then thought better of it and asked the opposition if she could do it again, and played the jack instead, which is right. Well, let's just have a look at it. At the moment, we've got possible 2 diamond losers, 1 heart loser. We don't know about the clubs, possibly a club loser as well, but we can get 2 discards on the ace king of spades, but that will still leave us with a possible diamond and a club loser. So what else could happen? Well, one of the opposition could have 4 clubs, and if it's East, we can manage it, possibly. If it's West, almost certainly we can't. But the big thing to realise is that it won't cost us anything to finesse the jack of spades at trick 1. If it wins, now what have we got? Well, now we're going to make 3 spade tricks, and 3 tricks in the red troops is 6, and we'll only need to make 6 of our 7 clubs to bring the contract home. So if the spade finesse wins, we're going to be home and dry. So there's nothing wrong with taking the spade finesse. Not only that, if the spade finesse loses and we ruff, well, that may have been to our advantage in reducing our trumps if we needed to. So definitely right to take the spade finesse at trick 1. If it wins, we've almost certainly got enough tricks. We can afford to lose a club, but it doesn't win. Okay, right, well, let's see what happens when we play the club, because if the clubs break, right, we've still got 2 discards, don't forget, on the spades. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners outside of trumps. We'll possibly still be able to manage if the clubs don't break very badly. But of course they do. What's West going to throw? He can see the 4 hearts in dummy. He doesn't know about the 4 diamonds, but he does know that he doesn't need to keep the spades. His partner's looking after the spades because Declarer didn't have any. So he doesn't need to keep 4 spades. All right, well, that's told us that the clubs are breaking badly, but we can draw a second round. Take the finesse. Well, he can throw a diamond, I suppose. I don't think it really matters. And we can catch the king of clubs. We'll throw a diamond from dummy. Okay, so now north, east has still got the queen of clubs. But so now we need to make now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners in dummy. But we need to make these trumps by ruffing to bring our total up to 8, which is what we need. So which suit can we ruff? Well, we can throw 2 losers away on the spades. So if we throw the diamonds away, does that help us? We can certainly ruff a diamond, or if we throw the hearts. Okay. So having made the king of clubs, right, we'll play a heart. And now we're going to cash our spade winners. And we're going to throw the hearts away. No, we're going to throw diamonds away, sorry. Each, I think, that's probably just as well. King of spades. Throw a heart away, here we go. Right, now we're going to ruff the spade. And the opposition haven't been able to do anything about this so far. Now we're going to ruff a heart. Now, of course, if East roughs in at this point, we will simply throw a diamond away and we'll have no more losers. So he doesn't. Right, so we rough it. But now you can see what's going to happen. We cross into dummy with the ace of diamonds. And we're going to play the last heart. And East can either make his queen of clubs now, in which case we'll be left with the 7, or he can throw his diamond and we will ruff with the club. We're making this 7 of clubs en passant, is the term that we've been using the last few weeks. Term that comes from chess, but that's what it does. That's the effect of it. We're leading the heart. East can ruff if he wants to, in which case we'll save our trump. And if he doesn't ruff, then we will ruff with our 7 of clubs. But either way, we're going to make our 12th trick. It's nice, isn't it? We're playing 12 tricks because he's going to make his queen of clubs. Yeah, nice smiley face from Terry. Yeah, coup en passant. So, yeah, Pat got it right. Yes, well done, Pat. You were washing dishes. Okay, John. Somebody's got you trained. Yeah, well done, Pat. Very well done. Now, we've seen this play before, and we'll no doubt see it again. So it's something to watch out for. These things that we can do with trumps, we can reduce them, we can elope with them, we can make tricks with them because the opposition have to follow suit, and we can use the positional aspect as we've just seen in a coup en passant. Our trump is not high enough by itself, but we're making a trick with it because he's got to decide whether to play his before we decide whether to play ours. Okay, that's board 3. Do we have any more questions or comments on board 3? Nothing from Eric. We'll move on. Board 4, he says. Board 4. Now, we did tell you at the beginning of the evening that overtricks are important in some cases. This is really the only hand where overtricks are important, and quite a lot of you managed to make 11 tricks, but how did we make 12? And we didn't think it realistic that East West were going to bid to 6 spades, because you know, but when you're playing match points, then you try to make all the over tricks you can. So, but 4 spades by West is the contract that we were given, so we'll give it West bid 4 spades. But we're going to see how many tricks we can actually make. Okay, and the lead we were given was the King of Diamonds. Now, I think a couple of players docked this, probably an instinctive reaction, the Bath coup situation, hoping North would carry on with the diamonds. But even if North did, what useful thing could you throw from dummy? Nothing's particularly useful. There's no real reason for you to be ducking the first diamond, I don't think. So we're going to take the first diamond.
I mean, even if there was something useful to discard, you don't need to duck the first diamond because you can duck a later diamond. So
Yeah.
you know, it can't help.
No, thank you.
Because you've got the 10 as well.
Yeah, because you've got the 10 as well, you can give them the diamond and still generate a diamond trick. So yes, okay. Okay, right. What matters here? Let's describe the difference between match points and imps when you're playing in competition. Imps usually occur when you're playing in a team event, where you've got your north-south players at one table and your east-west players at the other table, and the opposition have got it the other way around. And the 2 scores are added together. So you make 3 no trumps at your table, the opposition go 1 off in 3 no trumps at their table. So you score 400 and they score -50. So your team gain another 50. Your net result is 450, which is converted on a scale of what we call international match points. But the net result of that is the emphasis is on making your contract or taking a contract off if you're defending. Over tricks are really comparatively unimportant. 3 no trumps making 9 tricks and 3 no trumps making 10 tricks will give you a difference of 1 imp, which is not going to decide many matches. It can, but over tricks, not important. When you're playing for match points, as we would at our local duplicate or various events on BBO, whatever, then your score is being compared to everybody else that held the same cards as you. And now over tricks are terribly important. If you make 3 no trumps and everybody else makes 3 no trumps up 1, you get an awful score because they've all beaten you. And you get 2 points for every pair you beat and 1 point for every pair you tie with. And you don't get anything for every pair that beats you. So you'll have heard the saying, we scored a top, where that meant you made a higher score than anybody else, either because you made more tricks than anybody else, or maybe you got doubled, or maybe the opposition was silly and they got doubled, but so match points over tricks are very important, and limiting your under tricks if you're a declarer and you're going off, equally important. So we asked you to consider in this particular hand that you're playing for match points, and therefore over tricks are important. Everybody can make 10 tricks in spades. I think just about everybody made 11 tricks in spades. 11 tricks is no good if everybody else is making 12. That's the point. Okay, but that's basically the difference between scoring at imps, which is basically a teams thing really, although we can have pairs events that are based on imps, and scoring at match points. So we've asked you to imagine that you're scoring at match points here, which means that you're trying to beat everybody else holding the same cards as you. And that means you're trying for as many over tricks as you safely can. And sometimes to get a good result at match points, you will take a risk, well calculated risk probably, to make an over trick because you appreciate the importance of the over tricks. Okay, so we've made the ace of diamonds. We're going to test the spades. The spades might be 2-2. And if the spades are 2-2, then almost certainly the only trick we're going to lose will be 1 diamond. So we cash the ace of spades. Everybody followed. That's good. We cash the king of spades. That's unlucky. So South has got a spade trick. And the question is now, can we limit them to just that spade trick? Well, how are we going to avoid losing a diamond? Well, maybe we can lose the diamond and the spade at the same time if we can elope with our little trumps by ruffing clubs. So let's play a club to the ace. That's going to be our plan. We're going to try and make our little trumps and cash the king. I'm going to throw one of the diamonds away. It doesn't help us, we've still got a diamond to lose yet. But now we're going to play another club. And what's South going to do? Well, if he ruffs, we'll simply throw that diamond away. So he won't ruff, right? He'll throw a diamond away, say. And we will ruff. Okay. Well, now what? We'll play a heart for the king. The ace, rather. And we'll play another club. And same as before. If he ruffs, we'll throw our diamond away. So he doesn't ruff, he'll throw another diamond. And we ruff again. Now, can you see what's going to happen now? He's got to follow to the hearts while we ruff the hearts. Now we're going to play another club. What does he do this time? I think I probably should have played hearts before while I've still got one. Avoid him throwing one away. Go back.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't help here because it sets your 10 up. You can always throw the diamond away and
Yeah.
a heart.
Oh yes, okay. So if he throws his away, it wouldn't help him. No, fair enough.
As long
Okay.
as you notice that your 10.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't time the players exactly as I should have, but that's the principle that we were looking for. We wanted to elope with our little trumps. Elope means that we make our little trumps, even though they're not big enough on their own right. It's because, you know, if he ruffs, we don't, and if we throw a loser away, and if they don't ruff, then we do, and we make our little trumps. Pity I couldn't make the beer card. I don't know. The beer card doesn't work for me. Nobody buys me a drink anyway. Even when we had two hands in a row a couple of weeks ago with the beer card, and I don't think they got a drink out of it. Well, there we go. Do we have any other comments on board 4 or questions? Okay, we'll move on to board 5. Remember to turn the page over. Board 5. Right, and the contract we have is 4 hearts by South. No opposition bidding. And I think this was one of these cases where the opposition, where declarer thought the trumps must be breaking really badly. And they played for them to be breaking really badly, but we don't know that they're breaking really badly unless we try them. One made up one. Oh, well, that's going well. Anyway, what lead do we get? We get the lead of the 5 of spades. Right, so the opposition win the ace of spades. And they play second spade. And then they switch to the 10 of diamonds. Okay. Now, let's have a look. If the hearts are breaking, then the only trick we're going to lose is going to be a heart. You know, if they're breaking 3-2, then we're possibly going to lose a heart, but that would be all. So we can only worry about the hearts being 4-1. Well, now if they are 4-1, we're going to need entries in dummy because we need to reduce our trumps by ruffing clubs. Right, so we're going to win this diamond in hand. Now, we could play a club and ruff a club, but we don't really need to, because if the hearts are breaking, we'll find out on the second heart, and we can still play a club and ruff a club.
I think that's right.
You don't think that's right? Well, I may be wrong. That's not going to work. I do need to ruff a club
You do
first.
need to rough twice. But this is the sort of situation we talked about
Yeah, sorry,
earlier. You
I'm
can't afford to rough. You need to
confusing
rough
this with
one.
another hand, I think, yes.
Yeah, you need to rough one just in case, but you can't
Yeah.
afford to rough 2 in case West
That's
overdrafts.
right. Yeah, having cashed one top hard, we know that the trumps are not 4-0. Now there's only a danger if East has still got 3 clubs left. So we're going to play the club first and rough a club. Don't play the king. We don't need to do that.
That's right.
Right. Now we can play a trump to dummy and we get the bad news. And we can rough another club. Now we're going to play a diamond to dummy. And notice that the clubs are all good now. So if East roughs at any time, and our diamonds are good too, if East roughs any of these clubs, we will over rough and carry on with the diamonds, and all they'll make will be their trump trick, right? And if he doesn't rough, we'll simply keep throwing our diamonds away, and then we'll lead a diamond from dummy and make the last heart en passant, so to speak. So what's East going to do? If he roughs with the 9, we'll over rough and carry on with the diamonds. If he doesn't rough at all, we'll throw a diamond. Another club. Doesn't make any difference what he does. You can rough that one. And we make the last one with the 8 of hearts. Okay, having cashed 1 heart, we see the danger that only a 4-1 heartbreak is going to hurt us. So you think I don't know how they made an over trick, Pat. I don't know. I would imagine probably a defensive error. I don't know. Maybe, does anybody know how they made an over trick? I don't have the facility to look at those hands now.
The only way is if they don't cash 2 spades to begin with, I get.
Yes, if they switch to something else after the first spade, that would give declarer a chance to throw a spade away on the second club. That's what happens, says Terry. Okay, thank you, Terry. Yes, spade to the ace and a club back or a diamond back, for example. You win with the ace, cash 2 clubs and throw the other spade away. And there doesn't seem to be much of a problem then. Okay. Any other questions or comments? We will move on to board 6. A diamond back. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, okay. Got to find board 6 now. Here's board 6. Well, you still have to go through the trump reduction bit, I think, Pat. What are we doing on board 6? Opposition are silent until the last moment. So, and we ask you to make sure that you recognise that that the double. So we'll give you the whole auction, starting with East, 1 spade, pass, 2 clubs by West, 3 clubs by East. No, obviously not Jack. No. 3 clubs, 3 no trumps. Offering an alternative contract, I think. I've got values in the or maybe it promised spades. Or in fact, it was 1 spade, 2 spades. I can't read my own writing. That's whoops. Oh dear, what's happened here? Get it back again. Right, okay. And in the contract, it's going to be 4 spades by East. After the auction, 1 spade, 2 spades, 3 clubs, 3 no trumps, 4 spades. And then South can't contain himself any longer. I've got these really good spades, partner. I'm sure they can't make this. So South doubles. hard to criticise, but in fact, it's going to cost him quite a lot. More than a gold star, blue, yeah. Okay. Right. Well, what has South double done? Well, clearly he hasn't got concentrated club values, otherwise he would have led the king of clubs, you'd have thought. So maybe he's short in clubs. Get rid of those. Okay, so he's probably got concentrated spade values. That's what this double is about. He's expecting to make umpteen spade tricks. Okay, well, if that's the case, then, well, we're going to have to think about it. We've got 2 diamonds and a club is 3 and a heart is 4. And we can possibly rough a heart 5. But if South has got the concentrated spades, provided we leave spades alone, he may finish up having to play spades back into us again. It looks like we're going to need the heart finesse. And hopefully by the time we come to play clubs, South's going to have to rough his partner's tricks, and then he's going to have to play into us. So does it really matter where we win the first trick? Not sure, but I think it's probably safer to win it in hand, because we want to take the heart finesse, which we're going to need. So we're not going to touch the trumps. The double has warned us what's happening with the trumps. Okay. Now we can throw a diamond away. That's we've got a diamond loser anymore. And South can't be roughing a heart. He's still got the king, we know.
He should have played it on the last, round.
If he trusts his partner for the 10, yeah, he could have done. All right, but so now we're going to rough a diamond. Now, what's going to happen now? We've taken 6 tricks. The ace of clubs will be our 7th. North can win this, but whatever he plays now, South has got to rough it. He has no choice. And he has to play a spade. Which of course we win cheaply. And we don't play spades again. We play a club because we know he's got to rough that. And we finish up with the last 2 tricks, courtesy of South having to play one. I don't think you need South to have all 5. Well, he will still be in the position where he'll have to rough, I think. And if Zane played it exactly like that, then Zane did really well. It's hard to criticise the double from South. He looks like he's got, 3 definite spade tricks and probably a diamond trick. Yes, that's the point that we're making, Makiko. No, we don't want to play trumps, because if he plays them to us, then we're going to make more trump tricks. If we play trumps at all, we're going to lose them to South. And the double has warned us that that's going to be the case. Okay.
Really, we want to shorten our trumps to shorter than South, so that he gets thrown in twice.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the kind of kick. I mean, South wants to shorten his trumps, but he never gets the chance.
Well, he does, but it's too late. The
Well,
first time he
well,
gets
yes,
a chance to draw his trumps
anything before.
is when his partner leads the third
But,
round of
but,
clubs.
yeah, but you do need to win the diamond, the first diamond in hand, because you need the King of Diamonds entry to rough the diamond, I think.
Yes, yes. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think it's. I mean, I'm very wary of doubling with a stack of trumps to give to Clare, but I have a certain amount of sympathy for South.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting thing at match points, though. You see, at IMS is probably wrong to double because you're maybe turning 100 and 200, but giving it away.
Match points, different.
At the match points, you might be getting an outright top
300 instead of a 50 or whatever, or instead of 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will move on to board 7. I can find board 7. Here it comes. Tell you what. Right. Now, again, this was another case, I think, where Declarer was assuming that hearts were going to break badly simply because of the nature of this lesson. But the opposition were silent. We're going to finish in 6 hearts played by North. All right, so a couple of passes. And we get the lead of the King of Diamonds. No reason for us to duck it. Now, if trumps are 2-2, we don't have a problem at all. We're going to make 6 heart tricks, and 2 clubs is 8, and a club rough is 9, and the ace of diamonds is 10, and 2 spades is 12. So there's only a problem if the hearts are 3-1 or worse, right? If they are 3-1, now we've got a potential spade loser as well as a potential club loser, as well as a potential trump loser, rather. So, well, is this a case where we can afford to cash 2 hearts to find out? Or do we need to rough a diamond first? Can't hurt us to rough a diamond first. I think Double Dummy will tell us that we can afford to cash 2 top hearts. Let's have a look. Yes, we can afford to cash the second one, because if they're breaking, it's easy. Right, now we do need to rough a diamond. It's not Double Dummy. Because now we've got to do what we did before. We're going to rough a diamond. We're going to try to elope with our trumps and create another en passant situation. Let's have a look. So we're going to cross the dummy with a club. And rough another diamond. I mean, West will probably throw a club away. Doesn't help him to rough, of course. Now we're going to cash the ace of clubs. And rough a club. Hopefully that's going to stand up. Rough another diamond. Again, it won't help West to rough. We'll simply throw a losing spade away. He throws a spade and we rough it. And now we're going to cash the ace king of spades. And we reach the en passant motif that we reached before. Here comes the last diamond. If West roughs it, we throw our spade. And if West throws a spade, we rough it. Either way, we're going to make our 12 tricks. Another coup en passant. You'll probably see some more of these next week. Next week, you'll be with me again, I'm afraid, and we'll have more of these hands, things to do with trumps. The last set of the 4. The week after that, Alan will be back with some more squeezes, I think. Another coup en passant there, but we needed to think about it. This time we could afford to cash the ace king of hearts, but then after that, we've got to try and make our trumps by roughing diamonds.
I mean, it's an interesting hand in that you've got another potential way of trying to make it by taking the club finesse, and if it holds, throwing a spade and then trying to rough a spade. So you've got to weigh both those lines up as to which
do you think has got the better mathematical chance?
Well, who can work that out at 9:30 Monday night?
Instinctively, I think. I mean, because we can only make it if it's east, if it's west that's got the 3 hearts of the queen, and we know it's west has got 3 hearts of the queen. Then I think from that point on, provided he follows to the clubs, then this line that we've just followed is 100%. If he's not following to the clubs, then it's odds on that the east has the queen. In which case it would not be successful to take the finesse. I think this line has it on this occasion, Eric. Yeah, good point. I agree. But if we realise that for this line to work, we've got to not only use a club king as an entry, we need the 3rd round rough as an entry, which means we need West to have at least 3. And he's going to throw something away on the diamond if he's only got 2. So probably we need him to have 4. If he hasn't got at least 3, then his partner's got at least 5, and his partner is more likely to have the queen just because he's got more of them. Terry loves these lessons. Yeah. Well, we like giving them to you. We don't always get them right, Terry. I make mistakes, and I know Alan does. So we do the best we can. And I think Eric makes mistakes. 1962 was it, Eric?
Hundreds of them. Hundreds of mistakes.
Right. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 7?
I mean, the problem with getting better at bridge is you notice more and more of your mistakes.
Well, yeah, but if you recognise the mistakes,
you think, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I know exactly what
I've done that before. I won't do that this time. No, that's exactly right. Let's find board 8 if we can. 8. I'll get rid of these pictures now. Upload the deck to the table. There we go. Okay, and well, there is opposition bidding on us on this occasion, so we'll give you the auction. West opens a heart, playing 5-card majors, I should imagine. North overcalls 2 spades. Typically a weak jump overcall with a 6-card suit, and East thinks, well, I don't care about the 2-spade bid. You've got 5 hearts. Let's have a go at 4 hearts. Pass. And now North leads the king of spades, and South knows that if his partner's got 6, Declare has got 3, it's possible that he may be able to rough the 3rd round of spades if the East roughs it low. But it's got 2 spades on the listing that I have, Makiko, Jock rather.
I think the instructions did say 1 spade.
Okay, well we'll blame Sanya. We just can't get the staff these days. I've noticed it myself, but it says 2 spades on what I've got. Yeah, I think you do a great job, Sanya. We're already pulling your leg. Yes, I think everybody appreciates exactly what you do. Okay, but anyway, South appreciates it. If Declare roughs the 3rd round of spades low, then he'll over ruff, and with a bit of luck, declarer will follow suit, and that will be one off. So we're going to overtake the spade and play one back. We know partner's got the queen. Right, so now he plays the third spade. No, declarer's got the problem. If he roughs it low, he knows South hasn't got any more. He heard the bidding too. So he's going to ruff with the queen because he can't afford for South to over ruff it cheaply. So South throws 2 clubs away. Don't really like these clubs, partner. And declarer now plays a heart to the ace. Now here's another point where I think some declarers, I just know these hearts are going to break badly because there's not a problem if they don't. Well, yeah, but you can't assume that they're going to, because there won't be a problem if they don't. You need to be able to cope with the problem when you find out that they do. So we're not going to finesse the 8 or the 9. We're only doing that because it's this sort of a problem. And we're going to win this with the ace. North follows, and we're going to catch the king. And now we get the bad news. North can throw spade away. Right, but now we've got the position where we know that South has got the 10 and another heart. But we can't play hearts through him, and we can only afford one more trick. So this is one of these we're going to have to lead through him with when he's only got the heart, or before we can keep winning tricks. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a diamond, but we're not going to put the ace on. We don't mind losing a diamond. All right. But we do need to reduce our trumps by 1. Diamonds are good, but we've got 1 too many trumps. So we're going to cross to dummy with a diamond. And then we go to ruff a diamond. Just to be flashy, we'll ruff with the ace. We'll ruff the ace. Look at that, partner. I'm ruffing your ace. I don't care. And we need to be able to lead in dummy. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. Can I go back? I got to not cash the king of clubs. I need to just play the, just need to play a club to the queen. There we go. Because I've got winners in dummy now. If I play 2 rounds of clubs, South will ruff it. Right, now South has got to, he can suit himself. If he ruffs, we'll over ruff and our hand is good. But he can't ruff. We're going to throw the club away. And now whatever South does, we're going to cover whatever South does. So we're going to make 2 more tricks. Another case of trump reduction to pick up a card that we couldn't pick up by normal finessing. And I suspect some people, having ruffed with the Queen of Hearts at trick 3, they then play a heart to the 9 because it's that sort of a problem, isn't it? Well, yes, it is, but that's not a good reason for playing it like that. You should be cashing the 2 hearts and then working out, or indeed, working out how you intend to make this if the hearts don't break well. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 8? At least once what, Jock? Sorry. At least once somebody finessed the 8 or 9. Yeah, I know. There's no answer to this. If we know that it's a squeeze hand, then you look for squeezes. Here, you know the problems with the trump suit, so you assume, well, there's only a problem because they're breaking badly, so I'll finesse on the first round. Yeah, you're not allowed to know that it's a problem with the trump suit. We're giving you that as a heading, but not as a way of making it without playing it correctly, if that makes sense. Okay. Anything more from you, Eric? Are you?
I mean, you see, I think this is another hand where there's an alternative line to try and make it, where you can try once you find that South's got the trump trick, plan not to take the diamond finesse, to try and throw him in with the trump.
Well, let me put the hand back up and see if you can show me what you mean, Eric. Sorry. Let me just put the hand back up to the table.
No, it's the
Here we go. So this is going to be 4 hearts by West, we're saying. So we're just going to bid 4 hearts now. Right, and the lead will
so we play the spade.
yeah. Play the spades exactly the same, and we overtake it. And we play the spade back. And a third spade, which declares the Queen, and South discards a club. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing now then, Eric?
So we play ace. Well, we play the ace king of hearts.
Ace king of hearts. Get the bad news. Okie doke.
King of hearts.
Yeah, and we're trying to.
Yeah.
All right, now what?
Now if we play the jack of hearts.
Now play the jack of hearts. Yeah. He's just going to exit with a
throw a diamond, say.
Sorry, throw a diamond.
Throw a diamond, say. Yeah.
All right.
And then 10 of clubs to the Queen, and play clubs, 3 rounds of clubs ending in hand.
Oh, sorry, to the Queen.
Well, you could, yeah, doesn't
it doesn't really matter, does
yeah.
it? I'll put I will undo it and put the Queen on because we're not going to run it. North would have done it. Another 3 rounds.
Yeah. Club.
And now we can then play South with a heart, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right. So that works if he's got well, if he started with if once he throws a club, if he started with 4 or fewer clubs, I think that line will always work.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So I mean, it's another one where you're weighing up.
Yeah, which way to go? Yeah.
But then, of course, taking the diamond finesse works if the diamond finesse works, which is
if the diamond finesse works, we make an over trick, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. So it's not
something else. My line's better, Eric. Sorry.
I'm not saying I got a better line. I'm saying the hand, often, like it's almost coming back.
It's an alternative
to that point earlier where these are all hands where you're trying to play some sort of trump thing.
Yeah.
But at the table, in real life, you don't know that's the issue, and you might, and there's other alternatives. But anyway. And again,
thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Terry. Okay, thanks everybody.